All right, everybody. I hope y'all can hear me. I absolutely hope y'all can hear me. We are live. We are live. I had everything under the sun go wrong. I fixed some of the problems. Some of the problems I fixed. Some of the problems are still being fixed, but we're going to keep it rolling. The show must go on. We will be joined momentarily by Hood Servative. I see Pay May, I think I said that right. It said Samuel L. Jackson should be on that Lord of the Rings poster. And why are the new mermaid's eyes so far apart? I think that's just how our eyes are. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's go ahead and get into it. Gotta do like I normally do, Find locate the intro. Then let's get ready to go. Let's get it.
Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
I am struggle streaming at its finest today. Struggle streaming at its finest. And accidentally restarted the intro. But shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. Y'all know how actually this is replacing the Saturday show. Y'all know how we normally do on Saturdays. We couldn't get it done on Saturday. We almost couldn't get it done today on Sundays, but we had to make it happen. But everything went wrong. Everything went wrong. My computer is still in the middle of a system restore. I had to do all kind of had to do all kind of do some surgery. Had to do some surgery to get things started. But we will certainly be joined by Hood Servative momentarily. We'll be joined by Hood Servative momentarily. Got a number of things on the docket to talk about. We're going to be talking about the blackwashing. Yes, blackwashing. That's a thing. Blackwashing that's going on in Hollywood. To what degree is it a problem? And one thing that they're really not talking about is the Woman King is also blackwashed. And what I mean by that, we'll be getting into that as well. How normally when they whitewash something, they normally do something to make it in a movie like that, they normally do something to try to make the white people seem like the heroes when they weren't. But there's aspects of this. There's aspects of this when you really break it down. Um, the British were actually trying to, the British went to the Dahomey tribe like, hey, we're not doing this slavery thing anymore. We want y'all to stop too. But the homie, the king was like, nah, the slavery thing is what we do. This is what we do here. All right. We ain't giving it up. We ain't giving it up. And but in the movie they were depicted. They were depicted as the ones fighting and rebelling against slavery, but they were the ones who wanted to keep it. It actually, in the whole schema of what was going on there, it was I hate to say it, but it was white people trying to get them to pull back on the slavery. They blackwashed it and turned the black people. They they blackwashed it and turned the black people into the heroes. Now, well, I guess one elephant in the room we got to deal with. When I was putting together this show, uh, came across a very funny thing when I was looking at all the memes and all the discussion that was going on. One thing that happened that was hilarious. I stumbled across this epic image right here. This epic image right here, where they didn't just recast the Lord of the Rings with all black actors and actresses. They even went a step further and called it Lord of the Rings. I can see that down there. Lord of the Rings. That's what they called it. Yes, Lord of the Rings. And even in smaller writing, that I don't know if y'all could actually see that, it says Return of the King. That's what it says. So this is Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. Yeah, that was some funny shit. I was dying laughing at that when that was just too damn funny. And y'all can see Morgan Freeman playing Gandalf. They got Will Smith in there playing Aragon. Now the dude that's playing Frodo, that I recognize the face of that actor, but I don't know his name. He's that one dude. I think he may have been in the wire. No, I don't know if he was in the wire because I got to take my black card again because, like I've stated before, I've never actually seen the wire. Well, I watched most of season one and then stopped and then just never revisited, So yeah, I'm slacking and lacking on that. Go ahead and take my black card. But yeah, when I came across this, I was like, oh, I'm putting this in the thumbnail. I was like, this Lord of the Rings is going in the thumbnail. It was just no there was no questions asked on that. It was no questions asked on that. Yeah, the wire. Yeah, okay. I knew he was in the wire. I knew he was in the wire. I think that's what made him, popular and famous and so forth. So yeah. Excalibur saying take Bernard's black card. Oh yeah, go ahead and take it. Y'all can have it. Y'all can have it. Ain't the first time, ain't the last time I've had it taken. All kind of. But anyway, I didn't even shout out to Early Bird Squad. Those are making it in bright and early. JD Rich in the building. Hood Servative. Where you at? I'm pretty sure I sent you the link. Hood Servative says she was Kang's, referring to the woman king. Logan JJ says BR show about to start. Hit the like button. He said that a long time ago. And Joe Ethereal in the building, who's a sponsor of the last show, sent a very hefty contribution. I do appreciate that. A Truism in the building says cinematic Daggleverse. And we also got Shakwu Igu in the building. Shout out to you, Free Zone Lou. It says LOL, that Lord of the Rings picture. Oh yeah, that Lord of the Rings picture is classic. That is forever and always a classic. Oh, and not even in the upper right hand corner, that's Beyonce playing the blonde haired elf chick. They even got Beyonce. They got B up in there. Will Smith, Beyonce, Morgan Freeman, Omar from The Wire. Yeah, they killed it. They killed it. Whoever made this, they killed it. But yeah, shout out to Logan JJ again. Who'd he say? He says doesn't do well in water, much less thousands of phantoms beneath it. He said it should have said Lord of the Rings Return. Oh no, see, you was on point. You was on point. If you were saying that, only thing you missed is that they didn't put Lord. They didn't put that LAWD. That was the only thing you missed. But other than that, you was certainly on point to point out that that it said Lord of the Rings, and Return of the King. You was definitely on point with that. Joshua Richards, Pay May already acknowledged you. F Holiday in the building. Ricky Manor, Zone 559, Jay Quan in the building. Somebody said, Bernard, are you in the bathroom? Yes, I was coming out of the bathroom when I started the stream. I didn't know y'all could hear that. Uh, Honey Barbecue Wings in the building. So shout out to everybody in the building. Do appreciate Rod of God Podcast in the building. He says, you mean Seven Simps Trinity? Snow Black in the Seven Pimps. Wow. 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 See what you did there. But all right. Getting back on into this thing, and this will be hard to do. This will be hard to do because, like I said, I am operating on limited equipment here. I'm operating on limited equipment here, and I really truly need Hood Servative to come on through here for for screen sharing purposes. Because I don't even know if I'll be able to do an adequate screen share. Because I am like struggle streaming. I'm struggle streaming on my cell phone here. I'm struggle streaming on my cell phone while waiting for my computer to do a system recovery. Waiting on my computer to do a system recovery, and I'm struggle streaming on my cell phone. So we will be getting into a number of things. I'm just shit. Hold on. I'm trying to dot some I's and cross some T's. Give me a second, but yeah, I'm definitely waiting on Hood Server to come here. I have a workaround how I can pull up the screen shares and everything I need for the show. I do have a workaround because it's a slow ass laptop here that I thought I had my StreamYards pulled up on, but let me do that this way. So yeah, we're going to be getting into a number of things. It was a couple things going on. Like it was a lot of videos going viral. This is what I'm slow crawling my way into. It was a lot of videos going viral of essentially, black little young, inspiring, hopeful black girls giving live reaction, their live reaction to seeing when they saw the black Ariel for the first time. They're giving their live reaction to that. And some people looked at that and and they were like, "Oh, that's wonderful. That's special." And I get it. I get it. Little black girls seeing that and they like, oh, "She's black. She's like me." And I mean, it's almost like they was reading the script. Some of them, but some of them just look like some just genuine, excitement. They thought it was cool. They thought it was cool. So there's that. There's definitely that angle of it. And like I said, part of me looks at it this way. Part of me does look at it this way. I grew up watching the X-Men cartoons. Grew up watching the X-Men cartoons. Wolverine was my favorite character. Loved Wolverine. Loved Wolverine. When they started making X-Men movies, I was like, oh shit, they're going to make a real life live action Wolverine. Who's going to play Wolverine? Are they going to get it right? And so they went on and did it, and they put Wolverine on screen, and it was Hugh Jackman, and he nailed it. He looked like Wolverine, like he that Even only the only thing they messed up on, Wolverine was actually real short. Wolverine is actually real short. Um, so they didn't exactly nail that part of it. That part of it they didn't exactly nail. But far as everything else, because Hugh Jackman was tall, he looked tall as hell on screen. So they didn't exactly nail that part of it, but they did nail every other aspect of it. But I remember distinctively saying, "Wait a minute, that ain't right." Because I remember it was some scenes when Wolverine was standing next to everybody, and he was just towering over everybody, and I was like, they didn't get that part right. I'm noticing little things like that, like the height that they didn't get right. But overall, I was like, yeah, they nailed it. They nailed it. That it looked like and felt like the Wolverine I grew up watching in that cartoon that came on Saturday mornings. It did. It looked like that. It reminded me of that. They did a good job. They nailed it. They nailed it. Now, if they would have got, and who was a badass action hero early 2000s, if they would have just cast Wesley Snipes, I think Wesley was still kicking ass. Yeah, Wesley was kicking ass then, because that's when that first X-Men movie came out, I think in the year 2000. They would have cast Wesley Snipes, I'd have been like, wait, hold on, wait, that, you know, that's what's up, Wesley Snipes and all, but congratulations on getting the role in the movie. But at the end of the day, I'm like, that's not fucking Wolverine. Like that's literally how I'm going to look at that. Like that is not Wolverine. Like no questions asked. Like that ain't him. And so that's to me that's where the problem comes in. To me that's where the problem comes in when they start switching up characters like that. When they start, making characters that don't look like the damn character. Was it Idris Elba as Magneto? Like, no, it's like you can't do that. It's like you just can't do that. And so yeah, a part of me just says make the character look like the character. That's just odd to it. Somebody said Denzel as Professor X. Like, no, no. But shout out to the Clue channel in the building. Shout out to the Clue channel in the building with the $5 super chat. I do greatly appreciate you coming on through. Do appreciate you coming on through while I'm trying to figure that out. Drop five, put the five on it. Okay, that worked. I wasn't even sure if that was going to work. I wasn't even sure if that was going to work, but that actually worked. Shout out to Ike in the building, who I think at 4 o'clock on Case Closed, they're going to be having a discussion on this topic as well. They're going to be having a discussion on this topic as well. So we'll definitely see how that goes. I'll check that out. Don't know if I'll be able to make it on there to hop on there, but we shall see. We shall see. But that's what's going on. That's what's going on. There's always been that issue of blackwashing. There's always been that the issue of whitewashing. And now in Hollywood, there's the blackwashing of it. There's the blackwashing of it, and I can't. Yes, that's yep. 4 p.m. EST. 4 p.m. EST. Ike and a cast of characters will be covering this. We'll be covering aspects of this topic. We'll be covering aspects of this topic. But let's see what we got going on in here as I scan the chat. Michael B. Jordan was the Human Torch in the old Fantastic Four. I haven't seen that one. That was the one that I heard really sucked. That was the one that I heard really sucked. The early returns, the early returns on the Woman King is not rated very high on IMDb. And normally when movies first come out, they normally have a relatively high rating. They normally have a relatively high rating. That one, the rating is really truly uh, not good. The rating is not good at all on that one. And one thing that I'm noticing is black people more so than normal are waking up and not just accepting stuff. They're waking up and they're not just accepting stuff just on the strength. Just on the strength of, is black characters, is black, we blackity black, we black, y'all could put anything on the screen. Black people are doing their research, and it's a tough place that black people are in here. It's a tough place that we in. I mean, this this sector here, we have tough conversations. Like we really do have tough conversations. And so the whole idea of black people, being sold into slavery by black people, the whole, like we don't run from that here. We don't run from that here, and we talk about that. But other people, they don't view it like that. Like if you go back and watch the original Roots, um, Kuta Kinte got caught. Like they chased him down and used the net, like in the original Planet of the Apes and shit. They caught him. They bagged him and tagged him. Like it was like that's how it was. That's how it was depicted. That's how it was depicted. And so many black people, it went over a lot of our heads that we didn't realize that it was called the slave trade. Trade, emphasis on the word trade. So many of us had didn't even realize that. We just looked at it as they just came in there and caught and captured people. That's how we looked at it. That's how we looked at it. It puts a whole new spin on history when you understand what was really going on. And then it puts an even harder spin on history, a tougher pill for us to swallow when they were looking at the Dahomey warriors and the women that made up the army. I think at their absolute 100% most, I think they were no more than 30% of the army. At their absolute peak, at their absolute most. But the movie is made, focusing on them as if they were the whole damn army, as if they were the whole damn army. That's how the movie is made, focusing and depicting. However, and it's a big however, the reality is the cold stone hard reality is that when they show all the images of these women just kicking ass, girl power, black girl magic, the black girls rocking and doing magic tricks and the whole works, and when they're showing all of them fighting, the movie depicted it. And this is I'm basing it off people who's actually seen it. I haven't seen it yet. I normally go with the philosophy of I watched it so you won't have to. I didn't watch this one, but everybody, the early reviews are saying that it was depicted in the movie as the black girl magic and black girls rocking and doing magic tricks and all of that shit was going on in the movie. You know, black girl magic, black girls rocking, all of that was going on in the movies. It was depicted as if they were doing all of that. They were doing all of that in effort in the attempt to end slavery, to fight against slavery, to push back against slavery. They were the liberators, putting it all on the line, fighting against slavery. But the reality is, when we see them, and everybody who's looking at this as girl power excitement moments, those girls the women that you see on the screen fighting, is like it's sinking into people that they were fighting to keep people slaves, not to fight against slavery. They were fighting to maintain slaves. They were fighting to capture more slaves. Like that's what that was for. And black people are having we're having a serious red pill moment. The internet is killing a lot of the stuff that we held to be true and sacred. The internet is destroying it. The research is in the palm of everybody's hand. And so they're trying to call it sexism. They're trying to call it, sexism, or maybe even a splash of racism that the movie is facing criticism, but they can't call it racism because the movie is receiving more criticism from black people. The Woman King is receiving more criticism from black people, so they don't know how to put it. They're trying to like it. They're trying to say that they can't say the movie was whitewashed. They could say it was woke washed. They tried to woke wash it, and woke washing it, and black people are seeing that, and they're moving the other way. They're stepping in the opposite direction of it. They're stepping in the opposite direction of it. They're actually doing their research. They're actually doing their research. They're actually becoming an educated, informed consumer. They're becoming an educated, informed consumer. The black, hold on, wait. Where was it at? What did I see? Like I said, the Woman King is evidence of feminism. Is evidence feminism started in Africa. I don't know what happened in the movie that would make you say that, assuming that you maybe saw it. But no, that wasn't a factor of feminism. I mean, she wasn't a king. They were just part of the army. Like this Woman King is evidence of feminism, evidence that feminism started in Africa. Nah, no. That doesn't show that. That doesn't show that. Largely in part because yeah, they were a part of the army. Like there's a lot of people that that have covered that. So no, it wasn't like they were ruling and in control and had power. No. So that wasn't that I can't make that leap. I can't make that leap. But shout out to who did I see in here? I know I saw somebody sent a super chat that just disappeared and lost me. It's a oh wait, it's starred. See, I'm forgetting that. Yeah, I ain't got my normal controls and commands. I can't find shit. Terrence Howard should have been in that photo of Lord of the Rings, man. Oh man, oh man, yeah, that's a classic. That is a classic. That damn photo. I'll pull that. I'll pull it back up on the main screen. I'll pull it back up. And when I found this photo on the internet, yeah, black people. Wait, hold on, not that one. Wait, I didn't mean to do that. When I found this photo on the internet, it was funny because the person who posted it, I don't know who made it, but the person who posted it was like, "Keep playing with us, keep playing, keep talking shit about Little Mermaid. This was coming next, right here. This what y'all looking at next, right here. It's gonna be Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. That's what's coming next. keep, keep playing with us." And it's funny. I was already cracking up laughing looking at this until I was laughing at Lord of the Rings and just the imagery. Like that was enough right there. That was enough right there that legit had me rolling. That legit had me cracking up laughing. And then after I was already done laughing, then I saw in the fine print at the bottom that it said Return of the King. And that just jump started all my laughter all over again. That jump started all the laughter right over again. It's like, man, they killed this image, this picture, this Lord of the Rings. They killed it. They killed it, man. That's just the funniest stuff. Oh, get out of there, Shaka Noodle. He said the black He Man would be a she. Yeah, play Black He Man, starring Serena Williams. that's that's how they do us. Bro, hey, Rod of God, I was trying to figure out so hard who that woman was on the left. And yes, I think that's Leslie Jones. I do think that's Leslie Jones. I do think that's Leslie Jones. But they would certainly play us like that. They would certainly play us like that if we tried to if they made a black He-Man, they would probably cast it as a woman. They would have it would be starring Serena Williams. It would be starring Serena Williams. Little known fact, I know somebody oh shit. Hey man, come on man. Y'all got me thinking too much. You said who's playing at Smeagol? Who's playing Smeagol? Flavor Flav gonna play Smeagol. If Smeagol was in this picture, they had to have like somebody like Flavor Flav playing Smeagol all day. He said Terry Crews as He Man, Terry Crews as He Man, but he would be gay. That's what they do. They make a black He Man, but they'll make him gay. That's damn. Somebody said nah, Soldier Boy. Oh damn. You said my highlighted chats are coming through blurry. Listen, I can't control a lot of that. Like I said, your boy is struggle streaming hard today. I am struggle streaming real hard today. Okay. I am on my cell phone. I got another laptop pulled up so I can have similar controls, but this laptop is slow as hell. My main laptop, because I'm on the road, my main laptop had to do a system restore. That I think it may have finished. I think it may have just finished. So we shall see. I think that system restore may have just finished. So we may be able to get into a few things. We may be able to get into a few things that I planned on doing. So we shall see right there. We shall see right there. But right now we struggle streaming. Hood Servative is leaving me hanging. He was supposed to be coming through with this one and all the clips and everything we supposed to be going over and reviewing. We that he has it all. I got it, but it's just on my it's on my laptop. It's on my laptop and I can't get to it from here. So like I said, we are struggling. And look like we are just now being joined by Hood Servative. So we're gonna see how this works out. We're gonna see how this works out. Why the struggle streaming is hella real. Struggle streaming is hella real, but I think my laptop is booting up. I think it just got fixed. I think okay, so yeah, we are joined by Hood Servative. Let me try to move that Lord of the Rings off the picture. Move that Lord of the okay, thank you. Hey, hold on, I got it. Damn, how come I can't get rid of that? All right. All right. So Hood Servative in the building. What's going on? Are you there? Mic check 1 2.
Hey, what up? Mic check, mic check. Sorry about that.
Okay, okay.
I guess we all having last minute emergencies this morning.
Yeah, but no, it's all good. It's all good. Everything going wrong over here. Everything going wrong over here. But since I got you here, would you go see Lord of the Rings, Return of the King,
No.
starring Omar from The Wire as Frodo, Will Smith's playing Aragorn, Morgan Freeman as fucking Gandalf. That's oh, and that's Don Cheadle playing Legolas down there shooting a bow and arrow to the left, to the left of Omar from The Wire. Beyonce in the upper right hand corner, playing the blonde haired elf chick, and I believe that's Leslie Jones playing the Liv Tyler, I forgot the name of the chick that Liv Tyler was playing. So yeah, that's pretty much it. The Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, starring Omar from The Wire, Will Smith, Morgan Freeman, Beyonce, and Leslie Jones. Oh, and Don Cheadle. You ain't going?
I was thinking like if Omar from The Wire, if they actually had the character Omar, not the actor who plays him, I would love to see the character Omar like trekking through Middle Earth, robbing the hobbit holes and stuff. Like as soon as he walked through the hobbit hole, they just open up that little circular door and throw out their bag of silver or something. Like I would love to see that. It would have to be like a short skit though. I don't know how they're gonna make a whole movie out of it.
Yeah. So you don't want to see Omar from The Wire playing Frodo. You want to see actual Omar from The Wire walking through walking through the Shire specifically. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be ill. That would be ill. He'd be having like smoking blunts with Sauron and shit.
Oh man, that'd be too funny. But yeah, so getting into it, you got to be on the master controls, as they say, um, controlling the clips, controlling the clips. So you gotta be on that. You can do a screen share when the
Damn,
stuff.
I am not even I'm not even set up for that. I didn't know I was gonna be called on for that. I'm like struggle streaming
Okay,
myself. I'm on my phone right now.
okay, no problem. Okay, well, I mean it's a problem, but the workaround on that may have just became possible. May have just became possible because, like I said, my laptop is booting up right now. So the workaround on that may have just became possible. But so overall, just tell us as we try to fix the struggle streaming problem, as we try to get the struggle streaming problem worked out. Let us know what was your just what's your thoughts on all of this because you wanted to cover the Ariel topic, and I smuggled in the Woman King stuff because that's we getting the early returns on that. I think they'll be releasing the box office for the Woman King because they always show the opening weekend. So I was hoping we would have the hey
You
chat
know,
room, look it up,
there's
see if the
actually
box.
I was gonna
What?
say there's actually a hashtag going around on Twitter right now saying boycott the Woman King. So I'm
Yeah.
wondering if it's gonna be the smash hit that they expect, and it'd be funny if this turns out to be a flop.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where it's going. I think that's where it's going, and that happens all the time. That happens in movies all the time when people just see some bullshit in it and they just say, "Nah, we ain't going," you know. And so yeah, I wouldn't be shocked, and I like it when black people excuse me, I like when black people get unify for something. they, we it's like that's what I was talking about early on because we talk about how niggas be ignorant about shit, but no, black people legit did their research on this one. Black people legit did their research, and I guess that's something I'll ask you about. How do you think black people are going to deal with, truly going to deal with, because they're grappling with the notion that or the reality I should say that look it was some serious intense slavery going on in Africa, and this heroic story that they're depicting about these women who was fighting against slavery, they were actually all that girl power shit that they saw them doing in the previews, and those who watched the movies saw them doing all that high intense girl power, fighting against the system. No, that those women, they were like the minions of the system fighting to keep slaves, basically. Like, how do you think? Because black people are doing their research and they're joining in on the boycott the Woman King. But how do you think they're really going to deal with that? That they can't place a white villain, oppressor, or persecutor on the atrocious parts of that history.
Black women fucking up y'all reparations chat. She done
Oh
told the
no, come on.
secret. She done told the secret. Y'all niggas ain't never gonna get y'all money now. Blame it on the black woman. Black women did that. They made a movie depicting the true history of black on black slavery and how the white man basically just showed up while y'all niggas was busy enslaving each other. Y'all ain't never gonna get y'all money.
Oh, that's fucked up. That is all kinds of fucked up. Now, I'm gonna attempt to do something here. I'm gonna attempt to do something. Give me a second. Give me a second. All right. Um, can you hear me? Yes, you can. I can see my thing pulsating right there. All right. I am
Yep.
officially back on my laptop. So, all right, we are back in business. Still struggle streaming by my normal standard because I normally like to be on camera, but this will get it done. This will get it done right here. This will get it done right here. I'm back on my laptop. I got all the controls. I can do proper screen share. So it was touch and go. It was touch and go, but I think we're gonna have a normal show. But you said black women they put out the movie. Actually, as a lot of people pointed out, it was white women. It was like white women wrote and made this movie, put it together. I believe even directed it. I think white women are behind it, and they're, I guess, putting out their projection. I don't know how to explain that one. But white women were definitely behind it, and they're putting it. It's basically woke white women that are blackwashing, um, blackwashing the black slavery, the homie tribe being brutal slave owners is white women that are whitewashing that, and black girls doing their black girl magic cartwheels over it, and so that's essentially what's going on. And I like when black people have their red pill moments, we'll call it, where they're seeing the truth and they're researching the truth. The internet is killing a lot of narratives, and so I like that. That is the one good thing that comes from this, that they just can't, sweep stuff under the rug or make stuff they just can't hand us anything. And when I see black folks doing their research, hey, I salute and stand, and I stand proudly. I stand proudly when we do our research and be like, nah, this ain't it. So I am happy about that. But trying to move along to the clips that we were going to talk about. But aside from the whole Woman King stuff and the Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, which I will go see. They make that movie, I'm going to see it. It will be no boycott of Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. That I'm going. But let's see. Shit.
It's so weird though. This is what I kind of was trying to express in the email when I first pitched the idea to you. Like this idea that, all right, so black women are trying to really do an image rehabilitation, like reputation rehab. And basically what you're trying to do is convince me, like, all right, so you were never slave owners, you were never slave dealers, you never were warrior women about the slavery, but y'all was mermaids though. That's what you're trying to sell me on. All right, whatever, nigga.
Oh man. Oh man. Somebody did a good job at pointing out that I think this was on Keep It 100's community tab. He said something along the lines of, we boycotted a movie written and directed and I think even produced by a black man that was actually about a black man trying to actually liberate black people from actual slavery in America. And we boycotted that. And well, not we, but they, you know, the black people, and by black people in this case, I think, I mean, black women, because I mean, hell, maybe they got some black men on board with the boycott. But it was some boycotting of that. It was some boycotting of that when we're talking about a a black man making a movie written and produced by a black man, directed by a black man, about a black man, Nat Turner, who tried to free and liberate black people from slavery, that was boycotted. Then a movie that was really about and based on black people who owned slaves and fought to keep keep slaves, and even when the British came and said, like, hey, we don't do this slavery shit no more, y'all should y'all should wrap it up too. Like, wrap it up, B. Like, and he like, no, fuck that. We we need this shit. This is the glory of our land. This is what gives us our power and our money. We ain't no. We keeping this shit going. And so that 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 is being celebrated. That is
That's
being
the
celebrated.
weirdness.
Yeah.
That's the weird part, watching these women like try to tear down white patriarchy. I mean, low key, white patriarchy is the reason why you're not a slave no more. Like, don't throw out the baby with the bathwater here.
Wow. Wow. Um. Wow. All right. I'm trying to pull up clips. Like, Donna, that's a trip right there. That's a trip right there. But hold
No,
on.
all right. Let me drive the nail home. All right, let me bang
Yeah,
the hammer a
go
little
ahead and
bit
do it.
deeper
Go ahead and
until it
do it.
bleeds.
Yeah, go
Would
ahead and do it while I
Africa
get my clips. Go ahead.
would Africa still be practicing slavery, open slave markets from top to bottom of the continent, if the white man hadn't said no? Because mind you, no matter what they tell you, despite what they tell you in all the pro-black literature, not one black armada has sailed around the world to end slavery. Not one black army has launched a campaign to free they niggas in a neighboring country. So, like, if you really want to come down to it, would Africa still be practicing slavery if not for the white man?
I don't know. I hope there's a good answer to that question that leads us to the word no. Leads us to yes, they would have ended it. But I don't know. I guess that's something I have to really do some. I guess I have to really do some research on that to see. Like, we understand the politics around, why slavery was ended in America, and I guess we know why it was ended in other places. But because African slavery in Africa was swept under the rug, in recent times, we don't know the history of how and why it ended, because we don't know, because we barely even know that much about it to begin with. But so we understand why the transatlantic slave trade ended, why they stopped selling slaves to white people, because white people stopped buying slaves. But we don't know the origin story or genesis as to why they kept or stopped having slaves amongst each other, with rivaling tribes or countries or kingdoms or whatever the hell. I don't know why they stopped there. I don't know if it was a moral
The white man
stopping.
made him stop. The white man told him no.
Are you telling me the white man came into Africa and said, basically, like, hey, you niggas need to quit enslaving your other niggas amongst yourselves? Like, I don't see that unless it's
Well,
historical.
what do you think colonization really means?
Oh, okay. There it is. That might be the game winning shot right there. If if colonization had something to do with it, then yeah, that may be the game winning shot. That
Hey,
may
hey,
be
hey,
what.
hey, look. Ike is in the chat. We got our very own Manosphere African Prince down there, and he's telling you, yes, they did. This is what happened. This is the history of my people. Shout out to Ike down there. He keeping it a buck.
Well, Ike still owns slaves, so I don't, but okay.
Hey, there's another dude that be on SKC's panel. He was like, yeah, my family, we have the slave. They work. We don't call them slave. They're like employees, really, but they pretty much slave. Like, y'all, this dude Snake Man, he funny as hell.
Yeah, yeah. Oh shit. But no, hey, listen, that those are more of those red pill realities, those truths that, hey, black people don't be ready for that. Black people do not be ready for that. We're just now cozying up to the idea that black people owned slaves and was trading slaves. We're just now accepting and embracing that. We're just now doing that. SKC in the building says, at the end of Woman King, they gave an ode to Breonna Taylor. Are you serious? Are you serious? Is that sound like a good SKC joke, but he wrote it in a serious tone. You know,
There was another thing he said in there. An actual quote from the movie is like, "Women of this warrior tribe can never choose love." I'm like, bro, that's the message. They dropping a lot of red pills in this movie on the low.
women of this warrior tribe can never choose love. Well, okay, well, hear me out. Well, okay, I'm just based. I didn't see it, but I'm basing it just purely off the trailer. One of those black women looked like one of the homie tribe warrior chicks, whatever, looked like she was loving on a white dude. Cause you know they gotta smuggle that. They gotta smuggle in interracial some interracial shit. That is a I hate to say it. I don't see you. Sometimes you say this shit like it make your teeth white. Sometimes I take no joy in saying it. They made an empowerment movie for black women. They had to throw in some swirling bed winchery. There it is. There, I said it. But
Well, I mean, that's an obvious given, bro. Black women's empowerment is getting the white man. That is how black women feel empowered.
yeah. So they had to throw that in there. Oh, okay. The shout out to Rod of God. He said the dude was mixed. Yeah, I 1/8.
He he was mixed. Yeah, he was like an octorooney Negro or something. Like he wasn't really mixed. He wasn't like half black. He was like a quarter black or something like that. He didn't have
Yeah.
a full Negro mixture.
Well, yeah, okay. I mean, all right, okay, cool. But James Wingate in the building, he says they just stopped doing slavery in Africa just recently. Now America slave trade only stopped because they could make more money breeding local slaves. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. But the disheartening truth was stated that colonization was part of the reason why the slave trade ended. But yeah, that one hurt. That one hurts. That one hurts.
Hit you right
never,
in your black pride, didn't it?
never thought about that one. But that one, in an African country occupied or operated, inhabited by blacks, um, ran and ruled and governed by black people. Slavery existed, and it only ended when white people came in and occupied the lands. Like that's just the reality is reality. I mean, that like we talk about the tough shit here, and black people, we swallowing those realities is yeah, that's where we got to get. I mean, in my eyes, that's how we grow as a people. We got to swallow those realities. But yeah, but no, that's fuck the free zone loose. Shout out to colonization. Yeah. All right, but
You don't hear that a lot in black YouTube.
yeah, yeah, you don't. But all right, let's transition to what we was talking about the little mermaid, and we're going to talk about how these videos of little black girls watching Ariel, they watching, because the way they did the trailer is like you watch the trailer and like the first minute of the trailer, they kind of show Ariel like passing by, kind of. You don't really get to see her until the end, until she popped her head out and started singing. And so it's like they make you enjoy the optics and the visuals of the trailer, and you get all wrapped into it, and then boom, they drop the bomb at the end, and she's a black girl, and they show the black girl's live reaction. And we're gonna talk about how Hood Servative just felt all warm and fuzzy on the inside when he saw black girls rejoice when they saw that she was black. We're gonna we're gonna talk about
Bro,
how much
that
it
is
how much
so weird.
we're
I'm
gonna talk
sorry, but
about
that
how much it
okay, okay.
tugged at your heartstrings, man. But go ahead.
No, I'm just like, why are y'all so happy about that? I cannot really wrap my mind about why that makes little black girls so happy. I feel like you could only make black children happy about that if you first poison their minds by saying everybody hates you.
Mm. Mm. Whew. Let's
Like,
go.
look. Growing up as a little black boy, I never really felt excited per se because like the black version of something came out. Like, I like. Well, not let me put it this way. I like when there's a black star, like Action Jackson. That was one of my favorite movies when I was little. I thought Action Jackson was the coolest shit ever. But like, I am no less excited because like watching Conan or something like that. And this is a point I was making yesterday. Like, you kind of put your masculinity before your color. I'm more excited by the masculine element of shit than I am about the black element of things. And I think for those little girls to really be so like, oh my God, she's a black girl, like they made her black. I think you have to kind of poison their minds a little bit to make that really stick.
Okay, what do you say? I'm a devil's advocate. What do you say about this society has poisoned their minds and made them feel less than? And so now when they see themselves being elevated, they now feel like more.
Society doesn't raise your children.
Mm, yeah, yeah, agreed, agreed. Rod of God podcast in the building says, correction, slavery ended when white Christians fought and died to end it. Um,
Also true. I mean,
yeah, he's
Christianity
talking
is a
about,
huge part of the motivation. That's another reason why Africa would never ban slavery. They didn't have the internal spirit of we are all brothers. That's something that's uniquely Christian.
mm, yeah, that's a whole debate waiting to happen that I've lost all stamina for those debates because yes, one could accurately argue that Christians fought to end slavery and it was their, we're all brothers, we're all children of God under Christ, blah, blah, blah. That was the reason why they wanted to end slavery. But then there's the movie that we referenced earlier that was also protested and boycotted, the Nat Turner movie, and that was the first that I've seen, and I've watched Roots, and it wasn't in Roots, it wasn't any other slavery movie where they had slaves sitting there, and they had the slave master or somebody reading from the Bible, the passages in the Bible that condone slavery, the slaves obey your master part of the Bible, you know. And so that's why it's a whole debate how the Jesus-y Christy love in our heart is why we wanted to end slavery. But
Well, there's
that
another
Bible, but
side to that.
real quick, the Bible was also used to justify the owning and keeping and maintaining of slaves. So that's a conundrum that Christians do find themselves in, that legitimately. But go ahead.
Well, what I was going to say is that for the majority of human history, like slavery is the norm. Black
Mm-hmm.
people kind of like to hold up the special victim card, but the simple fact is slavery is what people do to people. And up until a certain point in human existence, there was no such thing as an employer employee relationship. Everyone was master and slave. I mean, master or slave. There was no in between for the majority of human history. Only in the modern context can you even consider working for another person and getting cash money for your labor. Like, no, no, no. Basically, what happened up until a certain point is that you were indebted, you were literally bonded to another person, and he took care of the basic human needs that a person needs to exist. But in exchange, you did what he told you to do. That was everybody everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Rodiga. Wait, no, I already read that one. Uncle Ben's Uncle Ben Rice's nephew says recast T'Challa. Shout out to Chadwick. Yeah. We came up with it on this show that the dude who played shit the hell, I think the same dude that played Kunta Kinte in the remake of Roots. No, not him. The black dude that played in Underground. He was in a different slave. He may have been in the Roots remake too. But I know he was in Underground, which was a slavery movie about, where they was, I think guess about the Underground Railroad. I haven't seen it in a while. They ended it after 2 seasons. It was actually good. I was enjoying that because the whole movie was about them. I mean, the whole show was about, more or less the stuff that they was doing, fighting back against it or trying to rebel against it, and and the successful attempts and failed attempts at it, and the whole works and everything. I mean, it was actually good. It was actually good, and one of the one of the dudes got free. And like it was a time skip, a time jump, and he was biracial, but one of the dudes that was a slave, he was like the overseer dude too. He was like the overseer, but I think he teamed up with the field Negroes and got free with them, and then it was like a little time jump. Sometime later, the motherfucker was a slave master. It was pretty damn brutal. Like they was hearing stories of like the most brutal slave master out there, and when they never met him, didn't know who he was, and when they finally found him, it was the nigga that they was slaves with. I was like, oh shit, like that was another movie that kind of stepped in it. They stepped right in it in that movie. I was like, damn.
And there was some intentional like character placement in the story like that, where in all of slavery, the biggest hero is a little tiny black woman with a pistol, and the bad guys in the movie, ultimately a black man winds up becoming the bad guy. Like, yeah, they're doing that on purpose, bro.
Yeah. And shout out to SKC when I said that they used the Bible. They used the Bible to justify slavery, and he said so was science. Yeah, me and him have had some religion versus God versus science debates, and duly noted, they did use aspects of science. They figured out they could scientifically prove that one group is inferior. That doesn't necessarily mean that if you prove that one group of humans are lesser in some way, that still doesn't necessarily mean that you should enslave them. I do think it's far more powerful to say you should enslave somebody if you can convince people that God said it's okay to do it. So using religion for evil is, I think, always worse than using science for evil. But I duly noted, and I'll let you have that one, that they did also use science to justify atrocities.
We don't need reasons to kill each other, bro. That's just no. We are trying to psychoanalyze our way out of our own brutality, but human beings are brutal animals. That's what we do.
Yeah, no, yeah, true. Definitely true. Devin Mitchell in the building says society doesn't raise children, but media is powerful. There's a reason they didn't resurrect Black Panther, and you haven't seen Black Superman or Black Batman. Um, I understand what you're saying about media being powerful, and we do media here. And I think doing this type of media that we do here has had some power, not that my, channel that's doing well, but still relatively small. And, Hood Servative channel is smaller than mine. But there is kind of an army of people that are, saying some unconventional things. And that overall, that army totals up to a lot of views. It does. And there are some people that are really successful at it, and they've got thousands and millions upon millions of views saying some very unconventional things. So we
You
are
know what I
stirring the
hate
pot.
about
Hold on, real quick. We are stirring the pot of media and the culture. We're stirring the pot of the culture through media. But I do think an important question is worth asking. Um, like I how exactly has media made little black girls feel less than? Like that's what he's talking about. I'm assuming you're referencing back to what we're talking about. What's on the screen? Why these because Hood Servative saying he don't understand why they feel so happy that Ariel is black, but I understand the aspect of it that media is powerful. It is some messaging and just basically getting rid of giving T'Challa an off-screen death because the actor died. I'm assuming that's what they're going to do, and then just move on and just have the woman be the
I
king.
reject I reject the entire premise. How long have we been in the strong black woman in the media era? I mean,
I
for
get it.
like at
That
least a
that, that was
generation before mine. So like black women have been getting big ups in the media and frankly false praise in the media for a long time. So no, I
exactly.
reject the argument. If anything, y'all ego is too big because of media.
Exactly, and that's why I was saying I don't know how or why they are feeling less than based off what's out there in media. I don't know. I don't see it. I'm trying to I try to steal man people arguments and understand them, but there's no shortage of kissing black women's asses. There's no shortage of that, not at all. But all right, I do want to get to these clips, but I got a couple super chats coming through. James Wingate in the building says white people are tired of B dubs. Ariel is now wake up call, but they scream racism. But people are tired of BW. We warned them years ago this was coming. Dun, dun, dun. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. Rada guy back in here says that same Bible's most famous story is God freeing his people from slavery in Egypt. I mean, I'll quote Lil Big Nate: the Bible can be used for good and evil. The Bible can be used for good and evil. SKC in the building says in Harriet, bigger, longer. Yeah, that was his name, not Bigger Long. I think it was Bigger Longer or Bigger Long. I don't know, but either way it go, I'm not even gonna blast a female content creator who used to frequent my chat room, who got a little excited, but never mind. All right, was Bigger Long was a black man, was bad and pro-slavery, though black men lead slave rebellions. In Woman King, no, period. In Woman King, the black woman is anti-slavery, though they were slavers. Yeah, very true, very true. Let me get down to the bottom. Perfect Storm in the building says the ask yourself why black women want so much to be accepted as the standard for white people.
Well, hold on. I think there's something even deeper to ask. Why are black women so obsessed with being a part of white fantasies? Because this is all white fantasy stuff here.
I'm sorry, I couldn't even hear what you said. I was reading something in the chat room. It said I need binoculars to read Bernard's highlighted chats. Are they coming through like that? Oh wait, hold on. Okay. I know what to do. I'm in 720p. If I can, damn it, I don't think I can change it in the middle of a live stream. I don't. Wait, I know how I can change this. I know how I can change it. Yeah, we just going to have to. Yeah, we just got to deal with this today because my phone was the main host, and then I switched over once my laptop got done with the system restore. So whatever problems y'all see, we just gonna have to struggle stream through it today. But all right. All right. So but all right, let's get into it. Let's go ahead and
I am usually not the person to get on the internet crying, but these videos of little black girls watching the Little Mermaid trailer, I can't.
I like you so much. Wish I could be.
What'd you say?
She's black. She's a black girl. They made Ariel look so black girl.
Action to the new mermaid.
Any commentary thus far? I know you got your Kleenex and everything ready, you know, tugging at your heartstrings.
I kind of want to like play this thing for my daughter now just to do the test. Well, both of my daughters actually. See, I want to run the test now, see if they cry.
She's black?
Yeah.
Nah. For real?
Yeah.
She's black?
Yeah.
She has just like you and me.
She does.
Okay, that girl sounded like she was reading the script. What did she just say? Did she say she looks like you and me? What did you know?
You read my mind. That shit sounds so fake.
Yeah, that seemed engineered. Like that was exactly what they wanted her to say.
She has just like you and me.
She does.
She's not me.
Yeah, she's brown like you.
You and me.
She does.
She's not me.
Yeah, she's brown like you.
Wait, is that the black version of Ariel?
I love that
She's black! She's black! Yes, 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 yes! Oh my god! Oh my god! Yes! Black mermaid! Let's go! Oh my god! I think she's brown.
All right. There it is. Damn, Nate said it's gross. Please make it stop. Where your heart's at?
But really, though, when you are that young and that inexperienced with life, what do you really know about, oh my God, a black person?
Yeah. That type of celebrating of blackness that young, I think it practically has to be engineered. I think for the most part, a kid at a certain age isn't going to think that. And I've told this story before. My son first really started noticing race. I forgot exactly which grade, but he was in elementary school. And he first like really started, paying attention to race. You want to know what it was? It was when February came and Black History Month came around in his school, and he saw all the stuff that was put up about, basically all the stuff that they got, when you go to an elementary school class and there's shit pinned up all over the walls, just like overstimulation of random shit they supposed to know. And so when February came around and they start taking down all the stuff that was pinned up there that they supposed to know, and then they replaced it with all Black history stuff, and he was just looking at it, and it wasn't majority Black in this elementary class. I mean, he went to some all Black schools, mostly racially mixed schools. So yeah, it's like he noticed it, like, oh, this is a thing. Black History Month. Oh, we're just learning about Black people to just like this month. Like he was, so it's like he was, and I could tell it's like he really started processing it, and then he started looking at everything and everybody else differently. It was like it like that was the catalyst. It was sometime in second or third grade that it was a catalyst of the of a change in him where he started seeing, oh, I'm different than my white classmates. That was
Well, you
it.
see,
The school did it.
even in that telling, what you're saying to me is that he didn't know he was different until other people, black people, told him he was different. You see, the
No,
school
no.
system is
In this
kind of to
case,
blame.
it was white people. It was white teachers putting up black imagery and saying, "Yay, we're going to celebrate black people who did stuff."
Well, the reason why I put that on black people is because we don't have Black History Month for the benefit of white people. We're doing that for black people. And
Yeah.
the overall effect of that is that black people wind up being the main people telling black people how oppressed they are. White people usually don't talk like that no more.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what do you think about the scripted element of this?
Well, it kind of has to be scripted if you're going to acknowledge that all this racial acknowledgement is unnatural for such young children. Then the people who introduced them to race gave them the script too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all contrived. Like when you really start to try to analyze it, like yeah, I wonder. I'm not saying that they literally reading from a script per se. What I'm saying is that they were indoctrinated with these ideas, and so once you put them in a certain situation, the ideas that they've been indoctrinated with will now present themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm. It's like, yeah, I really got nothing else on this one. I was trying to think of another question or another thing to throw out there, but no, I really don't got nothing else on this one. It's like, they're like kids view race. Put it like this: the way that our culture is, it makes kids start viewing, thinking, and looking at things in terms of race. I guess earlier than what they should. Earlier than what they should. And I do believe that that has to have a negative effect. It has to have a negative effect on the kids. Like think about like we talk about it from the perspective of the white kids when they Black History Month come around and they put up all the black stuff up there. What do you think goes through the mind of a white kid when he sees that? When he's just cooling, he just chilling, and you go to a racially mixed school and it's black and the black students there. They just his friends. They play on the playground with him, and then Black History Month come around, and then he sees, oh, all of this imagery is up of Martin Luther King, uh, the guy that made peanut butter, um, uh, you know, some athletes, Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, all of that imagery is up. Do like what do you think goes through the mind of that white kid? Do you think he's more? I think that makes him more likely to say, "Oh, okay, got it. Everything else we've been studying is the real history, my history, and this is the little people's history." In his mind, he gonna doing that makes the white kids. I think it makes the white kid feel superior. Just when you
You see how
that way.
You see how even in our minds, white people are probably far more racist than in actual real life. Like that was totally something that your mind made up, and you may very well be onto something though. That could very well be a thing. But what I'm saying is that we don't know, and we're in a position of mind reading. And I try to like not go there too much. What I was thinking about actually when you were talking about this, I was gonna avoid the whole subject of how does it make white people feel. Not that I haven't thought about it or I don't have thoughts on it. It's just that as a black man, you're not supposed to have sympathy for white children. It's like, so we're not supposed to give a fuck about the little white kids, apparently. Like that's kind of the low key vibe about it. So we're gonna go out of our way and bend over backwards to like not give a fuck about the white kids that our kids are going to school with. I don't think that's gonna help.
No, but my point is that I think the white kid was just a kid, just like the black kid was just a kid. And then when they start teaching differences and distinctions when it comes to race, I I think that does make the white kid think something. I mean, I don't know what it makes him think, but I mean, I think he has to, put it like this: when Black History Month rolls around, and I'm all for whatever we've accomplished, whatever Black people have accomplished. Yes, do a better job of just, I guess, naturally, organically integrating it into normal history teaching. Okay, great. When you do it in a separated, segregated month kind of way, I think it does just look like trotting out, let's we're gonna trot out the little race that could, like we're bringing little Timmy in. It's a special day, that's what it that's what it looks like I don't think it looks good in the minds of the kids, either black or white. I think you know I think it changes how they view race when they do that. It just does. I think that is
I
one of
like
the.
how you just put it. I'm sorry. I like how you just put it a second ago. There's real history and then there's black history.
But no,
I,
that's what it looks like when you do Black History. When you do a Black History Month and you separate it and segregate it, when they're talking about the problems of segregation, but you're segregating the fucking history. you know so but so yeah, when you have a Black History Month, I think that does say there's history and then there's Black history over here. I think that's what it does. Right? I mean, you agree or no? You muted. You are muted, and while you figure out your muted problem or issue, I shall read some super chats. Fatty in the building says, "Give back Jesus and Santa. We give you Ariel back." Wow. We gotta have a racist a character race draft. That's what we got to do, like that Dave Chappelle race draft. We're gonna be drafting fictional characters. And Hood Servative just dropped off. Devin Mitchell in the building. He says they don't want okay. They don't want strong image of black men in no new Black Panther. As far as Little Mermaid, push back because they don't black women shown as feminine, but can be woman king. Okay, I think you make an interesting point there. I mean, the problem was when you're saying they don't. I think you mean they don't want black women shown as feminine. I don't buy that being a problem, because somebody wrote an original story showing a black woman as feminine. I don't think people, get up in arms because a black woman is shown as feminine. And it's always a problem whenever you say that disembodied, there's always a problem that happens when you do that. So I don't necessarily think that that's it. I don't necessarily think that that's the case. But thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. You do got an interesting point. See, I didn't even think about it from that perspective. What do white people think about the Woman King? I mean, because I kind of didn't care, but it is interesting from that perspective. Avatar: The Last Airbender. Well, shout out to 95 Yoshi's Review says Avatar: The Last Airbender movie was destroyed the same way. I know nothing of that. All right, we are at the 12:14 mark. I think I'll link up put the link in the chat. Where was we at? I think I asked you a question before you dropped off. I don't
Well,
remember.
we were talking about how the white kid's supposed to take all of this, real history versus black history stuff.
Yeah. Like I was saying that plants the seed in their mind as well. That plants the seed in their mind. And so I think all the stuff that they want to avoid, the way that they go about it, they help ensure it. They help ensure it. The link is in the chat if anybody wants to come on up. Go ahead.
I wonder, what do people think? Like the people who present this movie, Woman King. Do you really suppose this somehow makes like the black image better? Does this help the black woman's image? Because like what I'm left with is this sort of choice, right? If you're gonna have women kings, where does that leave the men? If you got woman kings, what are the men doing? Like I think this is actually an L for the whole like black image technically.
Yeah, you know what? And hold on. You make a good point there. And if black women were thinking, or if they gave a shit, or if they this is gonna sound funny, if they cared about the image of black men, they definitely would reject the name of the movie, because there's nowhere in all the history that a lot of people research the history. There was nobody in history called the Woman King. Like they made that up. As far as I know, they made that up. Somebody can prove me wrong. If there was a woman related to a part of the homie that was called the Woman King, then fine. Okay. That's where they pulled it from. Other than that, they made it up. They just called it that. And yeah, it seems like, you would, when you ask that question, where does that leave the men? That, I mean, it's another highlighting point that they don't give two shits. They don't give two shits about the image of men in that sense. But
Well, I think it's not just that they don't give a shit about the image of men. They don't care about their own image. Like, how are you gonna, on the one hand, like, black women? It's like they're schizophrenic in a lot of ways because there's the soft girl movement, but you're also woman warrior kings. Like that, those identities can't coexist.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It seems like, I guess, the people that the bare minimum want to push a softer kind of image or something of the sorts. It does bare minimum seem as if that they would be like, nah, the name of this movie ain't it. Make the damn movie, but damn, do you got to call it that? Anyway, Kevin C in the building says, why the animosity for Black History Month? There is no issue for Hispanic, Native American, and European heritage celebration in America. And nothing wrong with celebrations. I see no problem with celebrations at all. It was listen, when I look at when I go into my son's school, and it's been a while. Because they're older now, so I don't think they put on as big of a production, like they used to. But when I used to go into my son's school and I used to take him to school, practically every day, I saw like the way that Black History Month was dealt with compared to those other things that you said that I have to look at them, read them, and try to remember or figure out Native American something, your Native American European heritage celebrations. Like I've never went into a damn classroom and went in there and like, oh shit, it's nothing but Native American imagery everywhere and everything that they did. And for damn, a whole month. Oh wow, okay, the curriculum changed for a month to acknowledge Native Americans. Oh, Oh, interesting. European heritage celebrations, never heard of them. There are no issues for, he said, Hispanic. Do Hispanics, do they have a month? I'm not sure if they got a month. I don't know, and I know I know it's done differently. When Black History Month come along, you just look at the commercials. Just watch TV and look at the commercials. Like when it comes to Black History, everybody is in on it, and I'm not knocking that. The only thing that I looked at, I noticed, and I saw a problem with is because I can see what was going on in my kid's mind when he first, went in that classroom, and I don't know if to say he felt like damn near singled out, and the majority of the class wasn't Black, so he just felt like, okay, like this is weird.
It's another relic. It's another relic from the civil rights era. I get the Black History Month, as a concept when it was, started, but you make an excellent point in terms of, okay, now because Black history is American history, let's keep it a book. Then it should all be be taught together and not set aside. Shout out Paul Gaines said there's the Olympics and then there's the Special Olympics. No, it should not be set aside like that.
I'm glad that he said that. That's what I was getting at. That summed up what I was trying to say. It feels like the Special Olympics when they do it. Just incorporate it into history. Just incorporate it in there. Like damn. But anyway, Rod, what was on your mind?
You know why they can't? One thing, real quick. You know why they can't do that is because in order to incorporate something into actual history, you'd have to only select the highest achieving Black people. Which there are people that you can select from, but the point is you can't. It's not about Blackness at that point. It's about, hey, this dude did something.
Yeah, and that's why I, flippantly said we learn about the guy that made peanut butter. It's like that's not.
And shout out to Angerman. Angerman pointed out that he really created the damn assembly line. It wasn't he created the assembly line for peanuts that then Henry Ford gets all the fucking credit for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. George Washington Carver, he created a lot of products based off the peanut. He created a lot of them. But there were some other concepts that he innovated as well. And one of them was the assembly line, like he's talking about. Yeah, George Washington Carver did a lot. He did a lot.
Okay, cool.
He doesn't get celebrated as much as he should.
Yeah, I think that should be more people should know him for that than to just know him for inventing peanut butter. Like, why do I know that? Like, I would think it was like. I've worked on assembly lines. Like we all, not we all have, but most of us, most men have at some point, damn near. But so yeah, it seemed like that's the thing that everybody should know about him more than the invention, more than inventing peanut butter. It's like, but again, like somebody said, it's like the Special Olympics. We learn about lesser achievements and shit. But damn it. But no, Rob. Before I go to Kevin C. Rob, what prompted you to come on up?
Bro, I'm gonna take it to some conspiracy theory type stuff, bro. So, and I think Hood was kind of hitting on this, man. Like, could it be, this is just a question, right, to think about, some food for thought. Could it be that there is an agenda to really take down the B-Dub? And by doing that, and to really poison the minds of the nation and the world about B-Dubs by purposely miscasting them in works that are for white women, really, and then create all this disdain and animus amongst this white male, quote unquote, ruling class, according to them, right? Could that be the reason? Because, dude, when they cast Halle Bailey, when they cast Zendaya in Spider-Man, like, it creates this uproar, and it takes white men who I think generally probably were, could take it or leave it with black women. They just were indifferent in terms of their opinion. They had no strong opinions. to now it's created this like this almost, I'm not gonna say that word, but it's created a lot of animosity between a lot of white men and black women, even like with the new Lord of the Rings of Power book BS. They got the black woman as was a dwarf. Like these dudes are furious over this stuff. So could it be an agenda to actually take down the B-Dub?
I don't know about that one, but
I
Yeah,
actually
I don't
see
know if
it.
I go that as far as that.
I would just say power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely, and people can notice the corruption at this point. It's really more of a natural process.
yeah. But since we stumbled across the
That's true.
topic, I gotta take the time to pull it back up to remind everybody. Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. Coming to a theater near you. This is the next step. That's where it started. You know, they tripping about Ariel being black, but no. This is where we're trying to go here. All right. For recasting of Lord of the Rings, and they make a remake of Lord of the Rings a few years from now, let's give about 10 years. Let's give it some time. Because the original Lord of the Rings came out, I think, 2000. So yeah, so 30 years later, time for a remake. God damn it, Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, starring Omar from The Wire, Morgan Freeman, Will Smith, Beyonce, and Leslie Jones. God damn it, let's make it happen. All right.
Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. Hey, did you notice that's the KKK down there, bro? That's the KKK. Did you notice that?
Oh shit! I didn't know. I saw people saying KKK in the chat room. I didn't know why they were saying it. I just noticed that.
Yeah, the white sheets and the pointed hoods. Yeah, and the flaming sword is represented in the form of a cross. A lot of symbolism there.
I did not know.
Hey, when I was reviewing the whole Lord of the Rings thing, one of the things I said is that the whole reason they added black people to the Lord of the Rings is so they can introduce racism to Middle Earth.
No, they're gonna pretend like race does not exist. That's the angle that they're going. They added.
No, they've already done it. They've already done it.
Yeah, no, they already have. Yeah.
One character calling another character, your mom's an elf lover. Like, bro, I know what that's about, bro. Come on.
Hold on. The term elf lover was in Lord of the Rings. That must have been a new episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you. They're using black people to bring racism into Middle Earth.
Huh. Yes, and they are hiding it, Bernard. Yeah. They tell you that was the context, the subtext. Yeah. Yeah,
I haven't seen it.
Hold on, real quick. I'll say this: in the original, I remember like Legolas and Gimli, they were friends, but it was like it was like subtle, lighthearted, like coworker racism between them. And now that I think back at it, he's like, I never thought I'd be something, like when I thought he was about to die, he said, I thought I'd die next to an elf, stuff like that. Like they used to take shots at him, and then Legolas take little shots back. So maybe it was those little subtle differences between the races. I mean, subtle shots between the races. And by races, I mean like human, like man, elf, dwarf, hobbit. Like that was the only races in Lord of the Rings. But now they putting in different shades of elves, dwarfs, humans, hobbits, and so forth. So now that makes a whole nother thing. Hood had the darkest theory on that. Hood Servative said that if there's no black people in the originals, but there's black, elves, dwarfs, hobbits, and humans and the whole works in the prequels, that must have mean it was some type of racial genocide that went on in Middle Earth where they got rid of all
the orcs were the black people. The orcs were the ninjas.
Yeah.
Either that or they're just focusing on the white kingdoms. I mean, I don't know. So it's very interesting that things like Game of Thrones and this Ariel thing and stuff like the Wizard of Oz, and when white folks make it, they kind of want to keep that as theirs. And you know what? And that's fine. I don't really have an issue with that. I'm not sure why they just didn't come up with another character. Instead of just redoing another character that was already that's already been accepted and generated by as part of the original. Just do another character.
Well, see, Disney, they gotta repeat the hits. That's the only thing they know how to do. I mean, they'll make some original stuff here and there, but they not real big on originality. I'm trying to think of like what the hell have they made
Princess
original?
and the Frog. Nothing.
Princess and the
Right.
Frog.
I remember they did a Black Cinderella remake with Brandy too. So
yeah, no, I'm talking about original pieces. Like I think Frozen was original.
Yeah,
I think that was original.
Yeah, only animated.
That would have been a time to introduce like a black character. Though I didn't watch. I don't have any kids that age, so or any grandkids yet. So I didn't really even see it. I just kind of if you don't have kids, you just kind of see it playing in the background. So you don't really know who the characters are. But why would just put a black character in there?
Yeah, I mean, no,
anything that's original, just throw a character in there or some other racial makeup. I mean, I don't understand what the big deal is. And then now white folks are all up in arms about it. And it's very interesting because we're talking about a fictional character, but now understand that they don't seem upset when when everybody's gentrifying black neighborhoods, when people were stealing black property, when homes were getting stolen, and music was getting stolen. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, black fictional or a white fictional character. Then well, we gotta guard that. So that's I see that as a two-way street. So black people, black people need to take a lesson from this. I would say.
I disagree, man, because like Bernard was sitting there, like when you are really into what Hollywood has realized is that men, especially men of our generation, slightly older, slightly younger, we put our dollars behind these IPs, these comic book based IPs. And what they realize is that they want our money because it's a multi-billion dollar market. They want our money, but they want to inject their own propaganda into it, and it's jarring. It takes you out of it. When I see a black Ariel, it takes me. I don't see Ariel. I see like a whole corporate machine that has admittedly gone on the record, at least been exposed as having a certain agenda. And now I see them inserting that into these classic stories that otherwise, that's the great thing about some of these kind of vanilla projects from the past. You could project onto that, like you don't have to like go and like try to put in your ideology, which is very anti-black man, by the way, into these different works, man.
You talking about Disney, or are you talking about just other stuff in general?
I'm talking about Disney and the whole movement it has been to try to insert, not just
Disney said they were going to do this, right? They made this huge announcement that they were going to do this. They're going to actually start adding, more. They say colors of character, or I don't know, something.
Blacks and gays, bro. That's what they put us together on the plate. Blacks and gays is what they said they're going to add.
They literally called it. As far as the gay part, they called it the not so secret gay agenda, and she literally said that what she does in every Disney movie, she tries to figure out how she could sprinkle in a little gay. The story is the story. They got to tell the normal story, but if they could just make this side character over there a little gay, or this person gay, or this person that got 5 minutes of screen time, let's just slip it in there that he's gay or she's gay, and then they working their way up to the main featured character being gay. That's what they're building to.
You can't have woman Kangs without lesbians, bro. I bet you there's some lesbian action or some hot girl on girl action in the dark jungles of Africa.
Yeah, I personally don't like them. It's unnecessary because what's that add to the story? All this sprinkling of this and adding of that and putting this in there.
Rod was quoting somebody who saw the movie. So what did he say, Rod?
Huh?
Dr. Tierson Johnson said that, and check him out. He said that there is some lesbian subtext between the warriors and woman Kang.
Yeah.
It's not overt. It's not like explicit. Like you don't see them. But he says that the context there.
Yeah, it sounded like he was breaking up a little bit, but more or less, I think what he's getting at, Dr. Tia-Son Johnson, who
oh my bad,
went to see it. Well, yeah, Dr. Tia-Son. I watched some of his review of it, the beginning of it. I didn't hear the whole thing, so I didn't hear him say that. But it was not like what Rod is saying is that he said that there was basically it was basically made clear, but in a not overt way, that there was some there was some lesbian women in the homie tribe or army or whatever. So yeah, so that prediction, anybody who predicted that, yeah, you were right. But Captain Cisco in the building says George Washington Carver said that God would reveal to him how to invent. They try to take this out of textbook, but if you read the older book, yeah, I mean, hey, I learned some stuff about him today. A little bit. Nate said something real disheartening about him, but about the assembly line piece, yeah, that was good to know. That was good to know. Golden Child 325 in the building says, Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, not Kings, Return of the King. Is this some sort of sneak diss at black men? The term king is a derogatory term used to describe black men, usually by black women. No, I don't think somebody did this as a shot at black men. I think they were just playing on the whole notion of recasting characters as black, and this was more or less them just saying, if you're gonna do it, go full gangster with it. So there's that. I don't think it was a shot at black men.
Well, I actually did raise the idea last night when this conversation came up. I was streaming about something totally different, then the panel opened up and this came up. But I did kind of ask the question, like, are memes in general just a way of being racist without actually being racist? Because, like, yo, if you actually look up, like, some of the memes, you're like, bruh, it's funny, but bruh.
Yeah, I guess if you you're racist and you don't want to just be outed on your Facebook or Instagram page, that's a way to slip it on in there, I suppose. I see that as a possible thing. But no, I didn't look at that as this is remotely racist at all. I saw this as just that funny as hell. Like, that was just fucking funny.
Yeah, hey, but no, you said something that was pretty interesting about Black History Month, and
yeah,
like it's like basically it's the stepchild or the bastard child of regular history. Look, if it were actually taught properly, then you would actually weave it into all the other history as you're supposed to, and that would not only include just Black people. We're talking about the Native Americans, the what do you call it, the Native Americans. I guess anybody who's an immigrant, like Arabs. Anybody who's then same thing with the Latinos, you would weave it all in there as it relates to just American history, because when you add it all together, it really is American history, all of it. You just got to figure out how to put them all in there, and I would say it actually creates animosity. So you talked about all of these celebration months. So when I was in the military, see, we had to cover all of this, by the way. When you're at college, or when you're at when you're going through school or high school or middle school and all this other stuff, it doesn't really get covered. But when you're in the military, it starts literally in January and goes all the way to the end of the year. You start with Black History Month, and you go into Women's History Month, then you go into what do you call it? They call it the Holocaust Remembrance. They got a month for that. Arab American Heritage Month. You got the Asian Pacific Islander Heritage Month, and you got a military appreciation, obviously, and then you got LBGT. That's the only thing that they weren't really observing, and I don't know what they do now, but because it started they just started talking about it when I got out, but I don't know if they do it now. You had Caribbean American Heritage Month, you got Immigrant Heritage Month, you got right now they're doing Hispanic Heritage, and then right after that is Native American. So all year long there's celebrations. And then, of course, the Europeans are actually woven in there too. Like Scottish, German, Irish, like all of that stuff is in there.
There aren't enough months for everybody. I'm sorry. Somebody has to be the bad guy and say none of you niggas deserve a month. And I mean, everybody, when I say none of you niggas, literally all the people in the world. Nobody deserves a month, because there aren't enough months to go around. There's only 12 months, and there are like infinite amounts of ethnicities and quirky human subgroups that we can celebrate. Like, how about this? Nobody's special. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that nobody's special. I'm just telling you what they do, because when I was in the military, that was literally, it started in January and went all the way to the end of the year. This
No,
is
no,
this is what
I'm not coming
they do
at
in the
you, and
government world.
I'm just sort of like saying why like it doesn't make sense because somebody in the chat had super chatted about or made a comment about how like why you're against Black History Month, and it's not so much that I'm against Black history per se. It's just that I see what's being done here, and it's very artificial and contrived, and it is low key forced. It's like we're being told to love all these heritages. Like that's just not natural. That's not regular. That's not how people really operate, and it's all coming from top down. It's not organically people caring about each other. Like you can't force people to care about each other. So like on a certain psychological level, like the what they're intending to do offends me.
Yeah, I get you, and you have a point. If you want to look into it, and you should look into it on your own. But I guess the way the government sees it is that if they're I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to make up for the fact that Black people were excluded, and then they started off with Black, and then they started adding all these other groups. And I'm just telling you what they do at the State Department and Department of Defense level, and literally it goes all year long. Matter of fact, we literally had to take time out from training to hit all of these at some point throughout the day. Now, at some point throughout the month, and matter of fact, you literally had to do, if you went to like say you're Black and you went to an AAPI Heritage Month observance, that actually counts as part of your cross-cultural training, believe it or not. Like that stuff,
Wow. Well, I mean,
it's that serious. It's that deep.
are these guys even good at killing people anymore? And I hate
I
to put it
mean,
so crass, but like that's kind of the point of the army. Like I need you to be good at killing people of all colors. I don't need you to love people of all colors. You got the game fucked up.
well, the ones who are supposed to kill are good at killing. That's what I know. The ones who are supposed to be killing, they're good at that. Everybody in the military is
For
not,
now, for
combat
now,
arms.
not all special ops, right? They're not all out there on the
No,
Bin
they're
Laden
not
hit
all
squad.
infantry,
The
they're not all
average grunt
special
is
ops, they're not all combat arms.
right. So the
Yeah.
average grunt is getting this cross cultural training when he should be learning how to kill people.
You learn how to do that pretty well. They spend millions of dollars teaching you how to kill, and then they spend another $500,000 trying to teach you how to save your own life after you kill other people. So the U.S. military does a pretty good job with that. Now, I will say this: this is one thing I did notice is that during the Democratic years, the military would actually draw down, and we would be short training hours and ammunition and stuff like that. But during the Republican administration, they would blow that up. They would go all out. Like you'd have, you couldn't have enough time to train as far as and deploy and do real live missions and stuff like that. So there is a difference that I've noted over the years between how Democrats do it and then how the Republicans do it. Just so you guys know that.
Yeah, that's interesting. The Mac the Trucker in the building says niggas don't know any other celebrations of other heritage but Cinco de Mayo and St. Patrick's Day, so they can party. Yeah, pretty much. Where was I going? I saw something in the chat room. Christian Hutchinson says the military does that to build cohesiveness. I guess, but I agree that it's contrived though. It's contrived when they do that, but it is what it is. Is what it is. But
even without all of that, though, I'll tell you, most people when they get in the military, they really, if it ever becomes an issue, unless you make it an issue, unless you're doing something that's outlandish, and then somebody goes, "Oh, wait a minute, is he doing that because I'm Black, or is he doing it because I'm Asian, or is he just a jerk?" That's what I used to tell people. I'm like, look, don't go to racism right away. Go to look at that person that's doing whatever it is they're doing, and then is that person, does he or she behave that way with everybody, or is it just you? And then is it something that you're doing? Eliminate all the other factors first before you go to racism. That's what I used to tell guys. Like, don't even go to that right away. And I would have people do that. And I'm like, nah, let's look at everything else first. Is this person just a basic a-hole? And you got a lot of those in the military, man. You got some basic a-holes, and they're an a-hole to everybody. So you can't scream racism right off the rip.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. And I've always said that too. That was more or less my observation. I've worked a lot of places where, a supervisor will get called racist, and I'm like, white people don't like his ass either, Nobody likes this motherfucker. Nobody.
Yeah, look at them across the board. And then the other thing too, you got to eliminate is now, are you screwing up? What are you doing wrong? Eliminate all of that first, and then go to okay. Now he or she is just being an absolute racist. Okay, after you eliminate everything else, then I gotta look at real hard at racism. But don't come to me with that first.
Yeah, Mike check, how it sound?
You're sounding good. You're sounding good. And
my bad. I just wanted to make sure.
Okay, cool. All right, I was probably gonna wrap this one up at roughly the 2 hour mark. One thing I forgot to do. We got 242 people in here. Make sure, drop. Hold on. If anybody been putting, I mean, I'm going out on a limb and assuming most of y'all are probably already subscribed to Hood Servative, but just in case somebody in here who's not, let's definitely get the link going through the chat room. Let's definitely get the link going through the chat room. Y'all could so anybody in here who's not subscribed to Hood Servative could definitely go and subscribe to the brother. And oh shit, right when I was ready to damn near get off the air, we've been joined by Lil Big Nate, which means there's a potential chance of maybe held hostage. So
no. I got a show coming up at 4:00. Passport Bros. I hope everybody will come through. I just wanted to show everybody this. What happens to our woke military under Democrat leadership. If you could share that. Yeah, I just wanted to show in the chat. People might think I'm full of it. No, they make military men march in red high heels.
Bro.
You see that? Yeah.
Okay, that's a little bit much right there.
Niggas think I'm lying about how wicked the left is. This happened.
I would not have believed you. Listen, I would not have believed you had you just told me this. I wouldn't have believed
you. No. I don't lie. I don't lie. This happened all over the country. They made members of our military march in red high heels to demonstrate their solidarity with women. Men. What do you think China thinks when they look at this? What do you think Russia thinks when they look at this? This is the left. This is what the left does to our military, and they ruin everything.
Are those combat heels?
No, this is what the left wants for all men, including the men in our military. They're supposed to march around in red high heels. Our military, this happened in like 7 or 8 different cities, all in a coordinated event. Military men all over the country marched to show solidarity for women in red high heels. What do you think our enemies think of this? Everything woke and left turns to shit. Y'all, before you know it, everybody's going to be put in the chat, Little Big Nate was right. That's all I wanted to say. Please be at my show at 4 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, definitely want to go over there. We're trying to get Little Big Nate to 1,000 subs on his second channel here. So I need to go. If you're not subbed to Little Big Nate, make sure you run over there and sub to him. Jackie, if you could drop Nate's thing in the chat room, just like you did Hood Servatives, that would be great as well. Y'all can go subscribe to Little Big Nate if you're not subscribed to him already. All right. Oh shit. Let's see. What else before we get out of here? Yes, and it's it is tomorrow. Tomorrow it is going down for those of you in the Detroit area. You can I guess it's not too late to click the link in the chat room. I think that link is in the chat. Well, there's the link to Little Big Nate's channel right there. But also I'm trying to see if that link Kristen Hutchinson dropped that other link. Drop that link so people can go click the Evite for the we're loosely calling Black Manosphere Meetup Detroit. Basically it's just shit. I'm trying to find it myself so I could drop it. I don't know if it's been getting dropped tonight. But hopefully Kristen Hutchinson's still listening and he'll do it. But as it says right there, hang out with Bernard Riley and a few fellow Black Manosphere bros, basically Black Manosphere subscribers and Black Manosphere content creators and subscribers getting together at Barcade in Detroit for games and drinks September 19th, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. No cover charge or fees. More info here at Evite. And yes, Kristen Hutchinson has it right there in the chat room. If you are interested in coming out, something that we're going to be doing monthly, just getting together, networking, and the whole works, something we're going to be doing monthly for those of us in the Detroit area, So yeah, go ahead and click that link if you're in the Detroit area interested in being a part of that. But real quick, as we get out of here, Rod, you got any final words to drop on us?
All I gotta say is, man, y'all think about it, man. Think about it. They are trying to take out the B-dub. This has worked. The Manosphere has worked. They take them out. They give them white girls roles. They increasing the hatred within white men toward Black women. This is good. Now
All right. Kevin C in the building. Go ahead. You got the floor. You got the mic for your last words.
Yeah, I would just say the mechanisms are already in place to take out, Black people in general, but Black women, Black men first, and then Black women, followed by everybody else. That's kind of the mechanisms are already in place for that. But then, and Black people need to work against that. But then I would also say, if they're going to be, Black people really need to be creating their own stuff and telling their own stories versus allowing white people to get a hold of it and then try to tell a Black story. Because I didn't hear all the reviews, but I heard some of the reviews, and the Woman King is already messed up. It's got they're crowbarring way too much stuff in there that has nothing that actually makes me not want to see the movie. I was thinking about going to go see it, but after I heard the reviews, I'm like, I really don't need it right now. But these are just things that I would just say Black people need to do. And just know your own history versus, allowing somebody else to teach it. Those are some good things that we need to be doing as a group.
Right on.
Well, thanks for letting me up, man. Good topic.
Hood Servative, you going live today?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go live later on this afternoon. I'm not sure. I'm flirting with a dangerous subject, but I just be having these ideas I got to get off my chest. But I think I want to talk about why you have to oppress women. I think someone finally has to say women have to be oppressed. There's no other way to work this out. But yeah, that's what I want to talk about later on tonight. So why you have to oppress women?
Good luck with that one. I wish you the best.
Good luck with that.
This might be
going to tell you that they're already oppressed. Do yourself.
I might not ever be allowed back on YouTube after tonight, but that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Bring one or two women up. They'll tell you how oppressed they are, bro.
I did see something interesting you was covering. I think the last night on the Stacey Abrams front. She's getting into some shit. She allegedly has a political agenda for Black men that when you read it, I'm giving a teaser trailer for something I'll be covering later. When you read it, it's not really specific for Black men. It looked like a lot of the run out of mill stuff for everybody, but calling it for Black men. So
all the lift all policies, the minorities, the disadvantaged, the disenfranchised. Basically everybody.
That thing had women, people of color, and ill gibbets and everybody written all over it. But all right, we about to get up out of here. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in today. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in today. Appreciate each and every one of you. And I do greatly apologize for the struggle streaming that went on. Like I said, I had to do a system restore on my computer, on my laptop, because I'm not at home. So I got my laptop and had to do an emergency system restore on this bad boy, and it was all messed up. But we did get the show on the road. I started out on a cell phone today. So but we made it happen. But all right, with that said, we are out of here. Peace. We gone.
Salute.